You're ever driving down Independence Road in Sunnyside, Washington at night, don't stop. There's something in the cornfield, and it will follow you. It doesn't stop. In 1989, a young boy liked to go ride bikes with his brothers across the street from a cornfield. His parents warned them not to be out after dark because the boogeyman would come after them. They meant it as a joke, to scare kids to come home. But they had no idea. The first night, the wind blew through the cornfield, the feeling of being watched. But on nights when the wind was calm, there came a rustling from the corn. Something was moving. Whatever it was, it always stopped on the other side of the road, like it couldn't leave the cornfield. Dad always said, as long as you hear crickets chirping, you're safe. Crickets only stop chirping in danger. I saw the man standing at the edge of the cornfield across the road. He seemed to be looking right at me. His eyes never moved. The sun came up. I didn't want to go ride bikes the next day. I did anyway, but kept to myself. And I got left behind after dark. That night I saw him again. He crossed the road. He stood at the edge of the roses my parents had planted, his eyes still vacant. A few nights went by. I started to play in the backyard instead, while my brother rode bikes with his friend next door. When it was bedtime and my brother was asleep, I could still see from my bed out the window. He was closer now, standing in the front yard. I could see him clearly. His eyes were sunken in, his body was grey, his teeth were exposed in a permanent decayed grin, and his vacant eyes seemed to look nowhere. The crickets stopped chirping. I was thankful when we decided to move 2 days later. The last night I saw him, his face was pressed against my window. His eyes were vacant, and his skin looked dewy and cold as clay. It wasn't until I was older when I learned that a farm worker was unalived in that cornfield when a crop duster plane covered the crops, and him in chemicals. If you don't believe in the boogeyman, stay the night on Independence Road in Sunnyside, Washington. Like and subscribe for more strange legends, lore, and places.